All right, I'll show you some tricks about this rear main seal. I don't have a GTR laying around, but I do have a vq37vhr, and it's almost identical. So you've got your rear main seal here. A lot of common mistakes that guys make is that one is they don't grease the inside channel. Okay, so I pack that thing full of red high temp grease. The other thing that I do is I use a little bit of Vaseline on the outside of the cage. Okay, so those are two important things. And then of course this spring that's in there, make sure that's retained in place. So this one I'm sending out for machine work. I'm not going to pull that, but just so you get an idea of what's going on. So whenever I go to do these, now a couple things to think about. You can see how there's a slight amount of protrusion on the lip. You see that? So it spreads out. Okay. And then we're looking at this guy. You can see that lip right there. That's sealing the back part of the crankshaft. Okay, the other side's sealing the inside. But if you want to make sure that that is uniform and perfectly and smoothly pushed over the crank hub. So another trick too is that, you know, when you have your old seal out, you make sure that Scotch-Brite pad that hub, clean it off real good, brake clean it, and then go ahead and wipe it down in red grease as well. Because what you want to do is you want to be able to slide the first part of this over, and if you can kind of get it centered right on the crank hub to where that lip right there is protruding, you're going to be in good business. So so the technique for doing it, now mind you, I've got a rubber snap-on hammer here. Now you can see I need to change my tips. They're destroyed, so I wouldn't even suggest this. I would suggest a brand new one. Whatever that other guy was doing was nonsense. So the technique that I do is I'll make sure that I can get that thing smoothly up over that hub uniformly. Then I'm going to put a little bit of pressure and tension on the bottom and tap it in. Then, continuing to keep that pressure on there, then I'm going to start trying to seat the top part. Okay? Now, once I start to get that thing to go on there, you want to sit there and look at the aspect of it and the angle, and make sure that you keep uniformly and flatly hitting it in 180 degree. This can take like 20 minutes. It's a very gentle process of just gently tapping this thing into place, man. I think a lot of guys make this out to be a lot harder than it is. And then also too, it seems like everybody wants to show off on a rear main seal job and do it fast for some reason. It's not a fast job. It's a slow, tedious job that you take your time with. So, but mostly it's just about making sure that, since you have a fresh rebuilt motor, I wouldn't really worry about that. But just make sure that your crank hub is nice and smooth with some grease, and slide that thing on to where just right over the lip of the crank hub it's on there, and then start beginning to apply a little bit of pressure and once you get the outside of that seal to start catching, I'm talking like maybe a millimeter or two, as soon as you can feel the pressure of it catching, then you want to go ahead and start kind of working it into place. And that's all you're doing. You're really working it into place. There's no specific way, because, you know, let's say you go to do this and you don't catch tension until it's over here at an angle. It's like, okay, that's fine. Then start working it out that way as well. You know, so however you can get whatever side you start to catch tension on, you want to run to the other side and start trying to tap that in. Once you can get that side to tap in another millimeter or two, you're good money. So you just start working it back and forth. So, but those are just some tricks of doing a rear main seal on GTRs, VQ37s. It's all the same.